now see the aircraft collapse to around 6 to 8 feet away from each other. Red 1 calls them into short diamond formation in this left-hand turn. Red 1 is squadron leader Jim Turner. It's his third and final year as the team's leader. He's a former Jaguar pilot, but he's very experienced in the display world, having displayed the Jaguar, spent 3 years previously with the Red Arrows, including leading the synchro pair. He's also spent 3 years as the official advisor to the Royal Saudi Air Force's display team. Reds 4 and 5 pitch up to roll back rapidly into a shape we call Apollo. Now listen in for Red 1's voice.
Coming right now. Holding and roll.
As the jets go upside down now, this is where the pilots will see you waving. Formed back in 1964, ready for that first season in 1965. The aircraft the team used was the Holland Gnat. That was the advanced jet trainer in the Royal Air Force in that era. But in 1976, the Hawker Siddeley Hawk entered service, and in 1980, the Red Arrows started to use the Hawk as their aerobatic aircraft. It's the aircraft we still use today. It's now a product of BAE Systems. It's a very successful export aircraft. It's been sold to over 19 countries across the world. And this week has been a very special week for the Hawk. At this very aerodrome, on the 21st of August 1974, the Hawk made its first flight. I was very honoured this afternoon to once again meet the legendary Duncan Simpson, who was the Hawker Siddeley chief test pilot. And he's actually just presented me with the initial report of the Hawk. So please, let's have a big round of applause for Mr. Duncan Simpson and for 40 years of the Hawk. And in from the left, the boys will show you Flanker. A very wide shape form now. Reds 8 and 9 will move to the outside, and from Red 9's left wingtip through to Red 8's right wingtip, the formation will now measure 100 metres or 300 feet wide. So to enable them to keep the formation as one as they manoeuvre, the outside pilots really have to anticipate their control inputs. They do so by using the very set cadence in Red 1's voice command. But now, is everyone feeling rather patriotic this afternoon? Oh, I didn't get a good response then. Okay, we're going to have some red, white and blue. Hopefully that'll make you more patriotic. Let's please have a huge round of applause in Phoenix. That's better. On the leader's right wing is one of our new pilots this year. He's Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Stu Campbell. Stu is a former instructor on the Tucano aircraft. You saw 2 of them land here just a bit earlier. He taught basic fast jet training. He also displayed the Tucano, and operationally he flew the Tornado GR4. Well, out to the right now, the smoke's on. The boys have formed our trademark shape. They'll come in ready to fly the Diamond Roll. Another big wave then, please, boys and girls. And we fly our formations with the odd-numbered pilots on the left-hand side, the even-numbered pilots fly on the right-hand side. And in their 3-year tour with the team, pilots will generally start at the front near the leader, and as their proficiency improves, they move further back. On the leader's left wing now is Red 3, and he's the other of our first-year pilots this year. He's Flight Lieutenant Joe Wilson. Joe is a former Hawk instructor, operating through the Tornado GR4. In fact, Joe is the only pilot on the team who is instructed on this version of Hawk, we call the T-Mark 1. He's also instructed on the Royal Air Force's new advanced jet trainer, the Hawk T-Mark 2. Another formation shape change now. You'll see Reds 2, 3, 4 and 5 move forward to Red 1's wing, and Reds 8 and 9 onto Red 7's wing at the back of the formation. You'll see that they are neatly forming a feathered arrow shape. Well, in the 60s, they decided that feathered arrow was a mouthful to say on the radio. So now coming in from the left, we call this formation Fred. That's the end of the first half of the Red Arrows display, ladies and gentlemen. So far you've seen all 9 aircraft together performing close formation aerobatics. We're now going to split down into sections of 2, 3, 4, 5 or 7 aircraft and show you some more dynamic manoeuvring. At the front of the formation are Reds 1 to 5. We call them Enid, after Enid Blyton's famous 5. And at the back are Jippo. Jippo are Red 6, 7, 8 and 9, and that was the nickname of the gentleman who first led the back 4 when the Red Arrows started flying 9-ship displays officially in 1968. Well, out to the front, that T-shape is known as Dagger. They're about to roll out directly towards us. It's time to get your cameras ready as they start the second half of the display with the detonator.
Daddy's trying to take some pictures. Go ahead.
Here you go, Enid. Keep your eyes on Jippo underneath. Side is Red 6. He's the leader of the synchro pair, Flight Lieutenant James McMillan. It's James's 3rd and final year with the team. He actually grew up in New Zealand but transferred to the Royal Air Force in 2002 and became a Hawk instructor and Harrier pilot. On the left, Red 6 is followed by Red 8. Look right, with the smoke on, is Red 7, chased down by Red 9. These 4 aircraft are now closing at 850 miles an hour. Get your cameras ready for the amazing Jippo pass. At 6G, or 6 times the force of gravity. That means everything in their bodies now weighs 6 times more than normal. So these pilots work really hard to counter the G-force. They roll out towards us to fly the Cyclone. The synchro pair slingshot. Flying steeply with a red, white and blue stripe in the vortex. Is Red 8, Chief Flight Lieutenant Martin Hurt, another 3rd-year pilot with the team. He's a former Hawk instructor and Hawk display pilot. Operationally, Martin flew the Harrier GR9. See now the synchro pair are perched at around 1,500 feet either end. They're about to descend to just 100 feet. They're going to perform the opposition barrel roll. The next call we'll hear from the pilots is threshold. That means they reach the geographic point on the ground, which is their contact point to continue with the manoeuvre. So cameras ready now for the opposition barrel roll.
Watch, guys.
is a full left-hand control column input which rolls the aircraft rapidly around its longitudinal axis. The key to the revolution is getting all 7 jets doing it at exactly the same time before they reform that battle formation in the right. G turns in the carousel. Notice the pilots swap their smoke colour at each of these 3 crosses using the individual colour control buttons on the aircraft's control column. Just above the brown huts there, Enid are in a shape called Leader's Benefit, and they're about to draw a red, white and blue snake-like shape of smoke in the sky as they fly the Python.
Holding the bank. Left. Turn bank.
Far right of that Leader's Benefit shape is Red 4. He's Flight Lieutenant Ollie Parr, and it's his 2nd year as a Renaro pilot. He used to fly the Tornado GR4, but he's also spent a tour instructing on the Hawk at Royal Air Force Valley on the Isle of Anglesey, where we train our advanced flying students. The Python is the corkscrew! Give the synchro pair a wave as they fly past upside down. Reds 1 to 4 have formed a box formation. Now see a 5th jet rolling around. He's going to do that a dozen times.
Coming. Right. Now.
This is the Twister.
Holding the bank. South. Tight.
Getting very busy with the red smoke on is Red 5. He's Flight Lieutenant Steve Morris, 2nd year pilot with the team. He is a Hawk instructor and operationally flew both the Harrier GR9 and the Tornado GR4 before donning his red suit last year. 7 they then roll before they split in the Jippo break. Ladies and gentlemen, please, could you put your hands together for the fantastic synchro pair? Vixen break. You've been watching the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team, the Red Arrows.